Good morning and welcome to Property, Home Building News and Analysis brought to you by PE Live. PE Live is sponsored by Rehoboth Properties, Mayfair Estates, God Key Properties and Adom City Estates. In the headlines, the private sector urged to leverage on opportunities in housing and infrastructure sectors. Government to extend water and electricity to Saglemi Housing Project. And in international news, rent advance in Cameroon crippling the youth. Now the news in details. Government to extend water and electricity to Saglemi. The Minister for Works and Housing, Mr. Francis Asenso-Boakye, has said that government is mobilizing funds to extend electricity and water to the Saglemi Affordable Housing Project at Pram in the Ningo Pram district of the Greater Accra region. The minister made these remarks when he met the National Tenants Union of Ghana, NATUG, on Wednesday in Accra to discuss issues of interest in the housing sector. The sector minister said some of the units are not fully completed and there was also the issue of social amenities, saying the government needed funds to extend electricity and water to these sites. On the digitalization of the Rent Control Department, the minister disclosed that a joint technical team from the Ministry of Works and Housing and the Ministry of Communication and Digitalization had visited all the regional rent control offices to conduct feasibility studies pending the project. Property owners at Trasacco Estates asked to regularize land ownership. The chief of Nungwa has requested homeowners at Trasacco Valley Estates to formally engage the Nungwa Stu Secretariat to regularize the ownership of their lands on which their properties are situated. Obuadi Noche King, Professor Odiafio Welenchi III, said this must be done in order not to lose their properties. The request was contained in a statement to residents and homeowners jointly signed by the Bobuwulomo Walumo Kono Numo Bokete Lawe Turu. The notice further stated that the residents and homeowners are hereby requested forthwith to formally engage the Nungwastu Secretariat to atone tenancy or risk losing their respective properties to this two. It added that there shall be no other form of notice howsoever described concerning the atonement of tenancy. Rather, steps shall be initiated to recover the land should you fail to proceed as requested. The Nungwa Manche stressed. The private sector has been urged to explore the numerous opportunities in Ghana's housing and infrastructure sectors using insights from the Sustainable Development Goal SDG Investor Map. The call was made during an SDG Investor Map breakfast meeting held in Accra by Ghana Investment Promotion Center GIPC and the United Nations Development Programme UNDP. The event brought together stakeholders to create awareness on investment prospects of the housing and infrastructure sectors as identified by the SDG Investor Map with presentations from key players in this sector. They included the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Works and Housing, and KPMG auditing firm. It ended with a business-to-business session to spur interactions between MAP stakeholders. It also set the stage to drive local and foreign investments into the housing industry, a priority sector under the government's 100 billion Ghana cedis Ghana COVID Alleviation and Revitalization of Enterprises Support Ghana CARES program. This comes as Ghana's property development market has gained momentum in recent times due to the growing urbanization rate of 3.51% and increasing middle class and the influx of non-resident Ghanaians and foreign home buyers. In spite of an annual supply of 40,000 housing units, the Population and Housing Census conducted in 2021 revealed that the country's housing deficit was still in excess of 1.7 million. We'll go for a short commercial break. Please stay with us. Welcome back from the break. We're sponsored by Rehoboth Properties, Mayfair Estates, Gold Key Properties, and Adon City Estates. Now in international news, rent advance in Cameroon crippling the youth. Getting an accommodation in Cameroon's Douala city is a nightmare, as one is required to pay 6 months or even a year's rent advance. As a result, many young working people who are faced with this harsh reality prefer to stay longer with their parents. A tenant who spoke with African News could not hide his frustration. He said he had to pay up to 12 months to get an apartment. Legally, this practice is not normal because rent is payable after occupation. The rent advance is not legal, said Cameroonian-based lawyer Nicolas Intamag. But for many homeowners, this practice was a safety net against an unstable labor market. Like Ivory Coast, Cameroon wants to put in place a more advanced legal framework for tenants and property owners. The country plans to limit payment of rent advance and the deposit to 2 months. It hopes this will facilitate access to housing for many Cameroonians. Thank you for staying with us. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. We are on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. Have a good day.